Hi, my name is Christina, and for my package redesign project, I decided to do Green Mountain Coffee Roasters Breakfast Blend K-Cups. On this first slide, you can see their current packaging. To me, it's overly green. The monochromatic color scheme is just overwhelming, and it doesn't really signal coffee. I also think that the illustration they use makes the design feel dated, and some of the varieties within the Green Mountain brand use photographs, so it doesn't really feel cohesive. Additionally, the packaging has to be ripped open in order to access the K-Cups, and that does not allow for easy storage after the box has been opened. And lastly, I wanted to switch the little K-Cups to a more eco-friendly, plant-based compostable option. Here on my mood board, you can see some of my inspiration that comes from smaller, more local coffee roasters that use geometric designs and really bright colors in their packaging, keeping it simple, letting the coffee speak for itself. I'm changing the box format to the slide open boxes as seen on the right, so that they can be closed and stored easily, sit on the counter, and still look really nice rather than being ripped open. And there's an example of the EcoPods down at the bottom. I found the Ephra typeface is the closest possible typeface to the already existing Green Mountain logo, so I decided to use that in my packaging. And then here are the three colors that I decided to stick with for the breakfast blend. When I was first exploring the different ideas for my design, I decided to steer away from using photographs or illustrations on the packaging because none of the coffee that I buy as whole beans has pictures on the packaging. So in my original 3D sketches, I was still trying to figure that out, but I was really leaning more towards the bottom right design that was more simple and more color blocked with like a bright pop of color. I started experimenting more digitally and finally landed on the bottom right, being the closest to the final product. Here is the outer box, all laid out in how it would be printed before it's folded up. So I changed the little wavy design on the last slide to echo the shape of the EcoPods. So they're kind of like a little sphere with the top cut off. And so that's what I made the little wave design into. I also changed the green to be a more bright modern green rather than the Kelly green on the original packaging. During my peer review, people noticed that if I got rid of the green altogether, it might be hard for people that already have brand familiarity to find the product on the shelf. So I wanted to keep green in it, but not make it entirely green. I also created alternate versions of that same pod pattern in different colors for the inside of the outer box. For the outside of the inner box that slides out, I used the bright sunny yellow that's from the light roast on the front label, and then the ends of the box are both the same as the outer packaging, so that if you slide the drawer completely out and put it back in, it doesn't matter which end faces out. And then you can also see the little top for the K-cup I designed. I had to create the little pod myself, and then just put the label on the very top and left the bottom as like a neutral textured brown to represent the coffee filter. And then the interior of the box is that same pattern again in the light green color. Here's the 3D rendering I created. I actually did two. This first one, I have the boxes separated because of the angle. You couldn't really see the box inside of the box, so I have them pulled apart here with the little pods on the counter in front. And then this angle is more of a top view, so you can see the drawer that has been slid out with the K-cups inside of it. The primary user for this redesign is somebody who buys based on aesthetics, and that is the most important part of their purchasing decision. They already drink coffee and use K-cups, so they would be likely to switch brands if it was more convenient and looked better. The secondary user is somebody that needs more accessible packaging due to a differing ability, so that would appeal to them. And then the hidden user is somebody who doesn't really drink coffee but wants to buy something that is affordable and will appeal to a large group of people, like at the office. The comparison of the Green Mountain redesign scores high on accessibility, appearance, affordability, convenience, and sustainability when compared to Starbucks K-Cups and Novo whole bean coffee packaging. They are a lower end of the quality scale of coffee, but with this redesign, they will hopefully appeal to a wider range of people. On the final slide, I included my brief. Feel free to pause to take a closer look. And on the bottom left, I have a couple more examples of the K-Cup tops with the different colors for the different varieties within the brand. Thank you so much for your time. Please feel free to reach out with any questions.